Greetings. So this practice is about twists today. Before we get going, let's look at a couple of really important issues with the twist. So if we come to mountain pose, we can see that the pelvis is in a neutral position. If I tip forward, you can see that the chest is opening. And if you were to do this, you would probably feel that a whole bunch of, there's just this whole open, expansive presence here. Whereas if we curl the coccyx toward the pubic bone, you're going to see this rounding that happens, less energy for sure. So in mountain pose, as we likely know, we want to be between those two places. The key when we go into twists is that we still want to carry out that same experience of mountain, even though we're in quite a twist. So one of the amazing things about this practice is that so many different people have so many different ways of looking at maybe even a really simple concept. Richard Freeman and Mary Richards have informed my understanding of how to do twists. And I always like to be able to credit the teacher that I learned from. So hopefully you'll find this useful. And if you don't, no worries. Are you ready? Let's try it. So let's come down onto the back. And we can feel how mountain pose is almost set up here. This is simple enough, isn't it? We just let the body relax downward. Feeling into the breath. And setting ourselves up for a fruitful practice. Let's draw the right knee in toward the chest, interlace the fingers. And let's draw navel to spine here. And you can feel as the thigh makes its way toward the rib cage, you might even feel the pelvis tip a little bit. So we've got that downward momentum. Just check to see for yourself if that's true, because our bodies are quite different. And then with the right arm out to the side, gradually move the right leg toward the left. Maybe both arms in cactus. And we'll inhale, come back to center. And exhale again, moving the leg back to the left. And we take it really easy. In fact, when I'm beginning, I like to think more about the water in the body as opposed to the fibers in the body. There'll be a time down the road here where we'll apply a little bit more fire. And we might notice that the breath begins to automatically coordinate itself with the movement. See if that's true for you. And as we slowly make our way back up, let's release the right leg long. Set the pelvis even again. Feel into right and left side. And then drawing navel to spine, draw the thigh, the left thigh in, interlacing. Letting the left leg get heavy. The left hip crease deepens. Feeling the breath. Good, then arms out to the side. And here we go, we're exhaling over to the right. Without pushing, this is more of an exploration. As we've moved to the right, the hip has come off. That's absolutely fine. You might even turn your gaze a little bit to the left. Great. Okay, coming back, release left leg long. Notice now how both sides feel. Good, and then let's bring both knees in, give ourselves a hug, interlace. Feel the tailbone and the lumbar spine. And then we might roll a couple times. Let's bring the hands to the ground. And the knees come under the hips. All right, so let's look at this prana apana pattern where we inhale, open the body, begin with the tailbone. Exhale, also begin with the tailbone, rounding. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. There's unfurling and furling. And feel the space between the shoulder blades. Then inhale, open. Shoulder blades retract. Exhale. Good. Then pause. Neutral spine as if you were in mountain pose. Move the left knee slightly to the right. Take your right leg over your left. And then gradually drop back. Just opening the glutes a little bit, the piriformis, before we get going. Some of you might bring your sit bones all the way to the floor, but would you take it slowly so you can find where in the body is there contraction, and then move the breath into that contraction. Good. So easy to rush to try to get somewhere. We do it all the time, don't we? Take the left leg around. Slowly, slowly back. Feeling into what's here. Opening the breath. So opening the breath into the body. Wonderful. And then we slowly rise back up. Let's tuck the toes under. Shift the hips up and back. Keep the knees bent first. Imagine mountain pose from your sit bones through your hands. A little protraction of the shoulder blades. Move them away from one another. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to straighten the legs if you find that you don't have rounding in the back. So with that rounding we've talked about, in order to compensate, we do bend the knees. But we're looking for our mountain in our dog. We inhale, exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands, step forward between the hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, fold, release. Release head and neck. Pause here. And then let's roll up to standing, bringing the coccyx toward the pubic bone. Rising up. Good. Find your mountain pose. Let's take a few sun salutations simply to warm up. We inhale. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, palms down, step back to plank. Pause in your plank pose. Separate the shoulder blades. Strong body. Inhale. Exhale, knees down. Torso down. Point your toes back. Inhale. Fill top chest with breath. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Tuck toes under. Shift hips back over heels. And downward facing dog. Three breaths. Wake up the front of the body, which means the muscles lift, the quadricep muscles lift upward. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward between the hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push the ground away, rising up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms, find your mountain pose. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, palms down. Step back, lower through or knees and torso down. Cobra or upward dog if you know it. Exhale back over the toes. Downward facing dog. Now while we're in this dog, let's take the left toes around the right heel and pull down a little bit. So opening up back of the calf, Achilles tendon. You could attempt to take all 5 of your right toes off the ground. If you've got that, you could try to separate them. And then left foot lands, right toes grab, pull down. Will the left toes lift off? Always an adventure. Good, then the right foot lands. And we inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past the hands, step or float. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, fold. Inhale, push ground away, rise up. Exhale, release the arms. Good, take your hands to your hips now, a little bit of a jump. And then we'll take chair pose, bend the knees, please. Fingertips can just graze the floor as we inhale, come up. All right, so now we can check this out. Opening, closing, middle way. Inhale, exhale, left arm to inside of left leg, and then extend like you're drawing a bow. Right arm extends. And then slowly lower the right arm. And switch sides. Just, I want us to notice what this feels like in the body first before we get going with this. Well, I think very interesting cueing. I hope you do too. We inhale. Exhale, slowly lower. And rise back up. Send the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float back lower. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back. Now let's sweep the right leg back, keeping the hips level. Now find your mountain here. So that means if pubic bone moves toward coccyx, we've kind of collapsed, right? And then the other way, there's just not much energy there at all. You should try both just to get a sense of it. But we sure feel grounded. So find the middle if you can. Inhale, exhale, right thigh to rib cage. Foot lands lightly. Let's push through the back heel as we slowly rise. And here we find mountain. At least we attempt to find mountain. Okay, so we've got the heart. We talk about the heart a lot in this practice. And at T12, right around where the psoas joins, back there are the kidneys, which are quite important in terms of sustaining life force. We don't talk about the kidneys nearly as much as we probably should. This is where Mary Richards and Richard Freeman come in handy because they do talk about the kidneys, this energy spreading across the back into the wings. And imagine when you send your arms up, that you're sending your arms up from your kidneys. You probably have to imagine where the kidneys are. Isn't it interesting that we spend our whole life with all of these organs, and if we're lucky, we have never get to see them. And I want us to think about the left kidney and the inner right knee, and how the two of them are going to join here as we bring the left hand to the ground. We'll turn left kidney toward inner right knee, and the inner right knee draws toward the kidney a little bit too as we begin to twist. And I want to see, what does that feel like in the body? Does it give you a little bit more visceral, embodied understanding of how to generate and where to generate that twist? It certainly did for me. Good. Keep left kidney to inner right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Right hand slowly lowers. Right foot back. Inhaling. Exhale back. Find the mountain in your dog. Wake up the whole body. So no one part is doing all the work. We share the stress in yoga. Good. Left leg extends up and back. Hips are level. Good. Reach through your left heel. Inhale. Exhale. Thigh to rib cage. Foot lands lightly. Push back through your back leg. Slowly rise. Good. So as the arms extend, imagine extending them from the kidneys. I love that because the appendages, the arms and legs, often feel like they're separate, especially because of language. We've defined everything so much that we see it all in little pieces and we forget the whole. So from the middle of the body, reaching up. Inhale, exhale. As we lower, right kidney to left knee. It's subtle, but what does that do? That helps to open up the rib cage. And you might also notice that it keeps the mountain pose because instead of flying open with the chest or collapsing, we're somewhere in between with that cueing. Inhaling, exhale, left hand lands. Slowly lower the way you do, and back to the dog. Good, settling in, beginning again. Returning and beginning. That is what so much of this practice is made of. So let's take this further. Right leg extends up and back. Thigh to rib cage, foot lands lightly. This time the back heel pivots to the ground and we rise up. For warrior one, we've got a leg's worth of stance between the feet. It's probably a heel-heel stance. We might invite the left hip forward, root through the back heel, feel the big toes, engage. Good, draw the legs in and send the arms upward. This time, take your palms to prayer position. So if your arms were to go all the way up, you would probably open up that, that really extended energy upward, and we lose our bearing, our connection to our feet. So arms a little forward. So you've got a mountain torso. Now this time we'll bring the palms in prayer position. We'll come down and we're going to find the left kidney to the right knee again without using the arms. So we're just twisting off. Now you may very well bring the elbow around the thigh, but watch the grasping that happens. We'll so want to get somewhere instead of doing the good work. So big toes pressed. Left kidney to inner right knee. Feel that connection. And see where your torso brings you without going for the grasp. Good, left kidney to inner right knee. Feel the outer left heel stay down on the ground. So rooted. Inhale, exhale, hands to the ground, right leg back, meet in downward dog, or take a vinyasa. Left leg lifts, hips are square or neutral. Inhale, exhale, thigh to rib cage, foot lands lightly, right heel pivots, and then we rise, coming into warrior one. Finding the mountain here, right? Not overextending, not in retreat. It's a little, there's definitely a Goldilocks situation happening here. Where's the middle path for you? Good. Now feel your feet root. Draw the palms together. Right kidney toward left knee. Follow that connection the whole way around without attaching to a particular result. This could be a completely different experience on this side. Yeah, do the good work. Maybe elbow comes around. Try to refrain from just cranking it. Feel how the outer left hip moves back, 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 back. We inhale, exhale, hands down, left leg back in the dog or the vinyasa. Good. Notice that this practice is really quite good at wringing out the body. Now let's take right leg up and back. Hips still level. Thigh to rib cage, foot lands between the hands, back heel pivots, but you'll notice that the stance is not as long. So if you have a block, it will come in handy at this point. So both legs are straight. We've come all the way up. Pelvis is level. Good. If you tend to lock the knees, soften the knees and lift the muscles upward so we're drawing up from the ground. Now from here, we're going to do the same thing. We'll fold at the hip crease and the left kidney, well, it begins to search for the inner right knee. The hand comes to a block or to the floor on the inside or the outside of your right foot. So have the twist happen from this connection. And if you happen to find that the shoulders stack, you can go ahead and extend the right arm up. Good. Can you feel the mountain pose in this spiral shape of the spine? Can you release the shoulders away from the ears and extend from the tailbone to the top of the head? Good. Keeping the kidney inner knee. And then gradually releasing. Good. Set the block aside, hands to the floor, downward dog. Or we ride the wave right out of it. Feeling the breath, attending to the body. Notice we have these habitual patterns, places in the body that support us, other places we can't feel at all. Go looking around for what seems to be a little bit sleepy. We're all a little bit sleepy. It's a full-time job to stay present. We take the left leg up, inhale, exhale, thigh to rib cage, foot lands before the hands, right heel pivots. Set your block, come on up. Okay, hands to the hips. Find your mountain here. Root your feet into the ground. Yeah, okay, ready? We inhale, exhale, folded hip crease. Find right kidney, draw it toward left heel, left inner knee. Left inner knee draws toward kidney 2. It's very subtle. As we begin to turn and twist, hand down on block or to the other side of your foot. Some of you might have the hand on the floor. Okay, now unfurl and take the lens or the position of exploring this. Where can the body go honestly? Good. Drawing left hip back. Press into right heel. If the shoulders stack, extending. Opening out. So much to pay attention to. And we inhale, exhale, looking down, hands to the ground. Good, right leg back, left leg back, vinyasa, or the dog. Good, hips high, we inhale, exhale, bring the knees to the floor. Okay, how was that for you? So those big twisting standing poses, so complex, so important to break down because as we work on them, they open up the potential for so many other postures. Let's take the legs forward and we'll gradually make our way onto our back. Just feeling the breath and noticing what the body feels like at this point. What happened as a result of those big postures? All right, so if you have a strap, it could be helpful. We'll bring the right knee in and we'll extend the leg up. Some of you will reach the right big toe. Some of you will want to strap around the ball of the foot. Notice the sit bones. So it's tempting for the shoulder to be high like this. Use the strap so it can drop. Allow the body to settle a little bit. Extend through your heel. Now let's go another direction here. Left hand to hip. Right leg begins to open. Reach through both heels evenly. And if you find that you're tipping off to the right, you can stick a block on the outside of the right thigh. Expand the breath through the top chest. And we inhale, come back up. Now let's switch the hands. Take your hand to the outside of the foot or to your strap. And slowly the leg makes its way down to the floor. It's okay for this right hip to come off. If it bothers the SI joint or the lower back, keep your knee bent and don't hold the foot. Then from here, move your right shoulder blade toward your left. Maybe look toward the right hand. And grow the space from the right sit bone, pushing away from the face toward the top of the head. Good, this is delicious. We could stay here for a long time, but we inhale, come back up. Exhale, release the leg. Noticing left and right sides. Remember, action, reaction. What does it feel like in there now? Good. Right leg moves toward midline a little bit. Left leg lifts. Grasping big toe or strap around the ball of the foot. Good. Hand to hip. That helps to stabilize. Leg opens. You might block outer left leg. Good. Whole inner left line opening, right? Okay, now reach through your right heel. Inhale, come back up. Crossing. You might start with the bent knee. Coming all the way over. moving the whole left hip away. And feel the breath make its way out into the outer reaches of your body, your hands, and even your feet. And then inhale, coming back up. Exhale, release left leg long. Settling the body, draw your shoulder blades down, palms face up, closing the eyes. So that was a relatively short way to just wring the body out. Allowing the eyes to settle. And now feeling the whole body in space at one time, or how much awareness can we bring to the sensations we feel in the body? Relaxing the jaw and the tongue. Allowing the cheeks to widen a little bit. Twists remind me of life's twists and turns. So many, you know. Can we meet life's twists and turns with a sense of lightness of being? A sense of exploration. And being honest with ourselves. Please remain here if you prefer. This is a really good idea to stay right here. Those of you ready, navel draws to spine, hug in the legs, wrapping. Take one arm up over the head and roll to that side. We always dedicate the practice. So may everybody be happy and healthy and at peace. And slowly we make our way up. Drawing the palms together. Let's close with one Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om. Let's bring the hands to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady and present and joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste.